Ready? Get with the fix, Michelle G. I'm standing here in the Barclays with the one and only, the troublemaker of the internet, DJ Akademiks. How you doing?
I mean, I don't like all the style me like that. We mean troublemaker, you know what I mean? I hate that reputation. I think I'm a good guy. I'm just outspoken. But yeah, we're in the Barclays Alkaline tonight. It's gonna be a historic night. I love when I get in the building. All my Caribbeans are here, but it's a Jamaican thing, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, definitely. Why you hate the word troublemaker though? Because everybody posts your stuff on the internet, it's like everybody comment and say troublemaker, troublemaker, troublemaker. How do you want to change that, or you're just gonna go with it?
No, it's not necessarily. I want to change it. It's like, so when people talk about me, is that people don't like the unfiltered truth, and I'm not saying I'm always right, but it's anybody who's watching this right now, and you should tell your audience, is like, there's no difference between me and you.
Right.
When you watch something online, you might be watching this, and right now you're typing up a comment, you're like, no, Akademiks full of shit. He's a liar, he's whatever. You saying what you think. I say what I think. Here's the thing, when you get into this industry, people don't say what they think.
Yeah.
I'm still one of the only people I made it through. I'm saying what I think, still. So they're gonna say it's troublemaking, but it's not. I'm not out here trying to fight nobody. I'm not trying to incite no violence. But if I have an opinion, it might not be your opinion. But just like, again, I'm the commenter who made it. So again, they're gonna call me a troublemaker because I'm not gonna see something that will my tongue. I'm gonna just tell you like, no, that's garbage, or yo. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you this one thing. One thing I learned in life, I've learned this in the last about 18 months. Everything I say, I get a lot of hate for it, but everybody's saying it quietly. It's just that they don't like women say it out loud.
Say it out loud, right?
Yo, it's like, put it like this, especially in a, Jamaican family. Anytime when the family link up, you have that one uncle, that one brother, that one cousin, that everybody don't talk about him behind the back. When him come through, everybody quiet. I'm the first one to say, youth. Oh, you're 42, you have a kid yet. Yo, you have to try and figure it out. That's my job. That's how I always been. But if I get labeled a troublemaker, I'm not trying to make trouble. And the only thing with the troublemaker thing is that troublemaker don't mean I'm a bad guy, or I want people to get violent.
Right.
I'm outspoken.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is your success? What do you think is the thing that made you as successful as you are?
Hard work. I always. But a lot of people know. I got a lot of my success off hip hop. But I was born in Jamaica. I listened to and I studied all these amazing dancehall artists, and I kind of gained from them and how they got their success. Which usually, if you thought about, we can go from being a Yellow Man, Bone, to we can go to Vibes Cartel, even Alkaline. It's a lot of hard work, being creative, and that's where I kind of attribute my success. Just keep working tirelessly, and for me, it was a straight passion. So I never really looked at it as work, but I'm obsessive. I always tell people, I'm like, whatever your job is, and I'll tell you this to your audience, whatever your job is, or whatever you're into, not your job, whatever your real passion is, it's never going to be a job. There is never a clock out. I don't think I clock out. So I always tell people, I say, I live what y'all think my job is. So if I have a bad opinion, it follows me around. If I have a good opinion, it follows me around. But I don't try to clock out and be like, okay, I'm going to be a different person. I'm that person. But that's passion. Yeah. So that's why I think, it's kind of worked out for me.
So I wanted to ask you this question, right? Why are you so hard on women? Why are you so hard on women?
Something hard about women still. Yeah, let me tell you,
it could get worse? No,
man. It's because I wish people were fair with that. It's like, unfortunately, I cover hip hop, and some of the aspects of hip hop I cover, a lot of women don't even follow that, so they wouldn't even know when they say I'm hard on women. They don't know I'm giving the same energy. Me and a bunch of niggas. Me I deal with them the same way. Me not over here. So I like it, this is what I would say if like you're hard a woman. The man them I do A, I mean not say nothing about it. But me go over there, so I say yo, what the woman them I do A for? Me I get the man them hell even more. and that's even more turbulent. But not because, I'm just not gonna just give somebody open pass because they're a woman. Of course I love women, I respect women, but at the end of the day, most people who say that, I would rather that they just say, this is how you are overall. Because I don't think I really pick and choose. I don't pick and choose. Trust me, I don't pick and choose. You know what I mean? Like, if a donkey could attack and a goat and a pig and a cat and a dog, would I give them the same energy? I give everybody the same energy. And I hope when people deal with me, they give me the same energy too. I don't want no preferential treatment.
Okay.
And, I don't blame sometimes people having that opinion though, because they don't view everything, right? They might see it bubble up to their visibility, and they said, well, I know Akademiks, but I don't know too much about him, but now I'm seeing some content about him, he's getting at a woman, so it kind of propagates that theory, but no, man, we give everybody the same attention, man, same attention.
So it looks like you've been on a weight loss journey. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, let me tell you this, really health is wealth. Yeah. And I spent a lot of time, I think I made a lot of sacrifices in life trying to chase what I thought was a financial, achievement to, free my family out of, just certain burdens and even myself. And then once you get there, you kind of realize along the way you've neglected yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people, because me know say, me the youth where me give it and me can take it too. Okay. So, the same way I deal with people, I understand people might have opinions about me. Right. Let me tell you. So me get all the jokes. I said this about me, then said that about me, whatever. Before I really got into this about 10 to 15 years ago, I was an in-shape kid. I made a lot of sacrifices. I put hours of work in neglecting my health, this and third. I finally made it. And then once you get there, you got to start realizing what's also important. So, these, especially last year, but even this year and continuing, I want to focus on my health. I'm getting up there in age. I'm in my 30s now. For me, before, if someone tell me if there was an opportunity out there, would you jeopardize, whether it's eating bad, less sleep, whatever it is, that sometimes lifestyle choices. Of course, I would do it. Now, I'm way more cognizant. Because quality of life is important. It's way even more important than actual monetary wealth.
I love that, definitely. What is some advice that you would want to give to a young girl, young boy who want to become the next DJ Akademiks?
Well, I would say don't become me, just become you. And what I mean by become you, I always tell people, you see, even though I become a foreign, if you go to college, when I went to college over here, I got to learn myself. So I finally got to learn who I was. And I tell everybody to figure out who they are, what they want, and my only advice would be to be obsessive. I'll give you a quick story. I went to Rutgers University. I was a math major and a science major. Everything said I should be a doctor or a scientist. I was obsessed with music and culture. When I wasn't doing those hard classes, I was on a radio station. I was lugging around 150-pound speakers to go do events. It wasn't paying off then. I was getting paid $80, $100, $150, but that was my passion. So I tell people, I said, if you want to be me, don't use me as your blueprint. Use whatever you're really interested in, because what happens is you'll never work as hard for my goal as you work for yours. So figure out what your goal is and then work tirelessly at it. Okay? It's not a job. There's no, I used to have this motto. I said, success doesn't come for everybody in a year. It might take a while, but just keep going. But you got to be obsessive. I haven't seen it yet where someone's completely obsessed with their goal or vision, and something the universe is repay them in some way. So that's my advice to them.
Definitely. Who's your next Caribbean artist that you're going to be interviewing? Because we saw you interview Bounty Killer. Who's the next person? Who's the next person on that list?
Yo, I want to beat myself. But hold on, yo.
What you miss? You miss some?
Yeah, man.
Who you miss?
Yo, Buju link me.
You lie.
I just tell him right there. I swear Buju link me and say, yo, I come on New York, I'm ready for talk. And we meet Buju a couple times. Buju, everybody knows it's Buju.
Yes, yeah.
I do cartel. I do. Movado may be coming. But,
Okay.
Middle Bounty me say, yo, man, I have to do this. And I don't even want to say the reason why I missed it because I'm gonna just seem too green. But I mean, I'll say it. For whatever reason, like I'm probably just, again, I'm born in Jamaica, but maybe I'm too much into this mindset because he linked me on Instagram. Yo, he linked me on WhatsApp. I never open WhatsApp ever.
Are you serious? You're Jamaican. WhatsApp is how we function.
Nah, well, I know. No, I'm not about family upon it, but you know what I mean.
You stay away from WhatsApp. Are they begging? It's beg. They begging. That's why you stay away.
You know, we have a tapping upon WhatsApp still, but we just link Ellie. I'm up on WhatsApp. Me link Alka sister. Me link Alka. This my me up on WhatsApp. You know, me locked in. So me even just hit up Buju. Me say Buju, me sorry, father. Me sorry. Me have to make it up for you. And he agrees. Say yo, you know, it's a bless. And you know, he was very. He's such a graceful figure, so I'm hoping I could get that opportunity to make that back up. But you know, I think some good interviews coming up. You know, I love my culture, man. I love my culture. I love my country, and when I come here, I'm just proud from that small island that I came from. You know what I mean? Obviously, I made a lot of my success in hip hop, but this, I use whatever I've gained from that to big up my culture and my people. Isn't it? Always.
So I got this purse in my hand. You know, this is the big thing in the culture right now. Men walking around with purses.
Wait, what? No, man, what culture you talking about? What?
Caribbean culture.
No.
You ain't see them?
I mean, which part?
All over the place.
I might be old school then. Yeah, that's not my thing.
What do you want to say to those men who are walking around with purses? What do you want to say to them?
I mean,
being Caribbean at that.
I'm not into it. I'm not into it. But I'm going to tell you what living in the United States made me. When I came over here, I was one of the most judgmental niggas in the world. When I seen something I wasn't used to, I seen something that went against my ideology. I'm going to deal with certain things,
Right.
You know, Jamaican culture is, and I was super intolerant. I've learned a little bit more from my business. I might still not be into it, but we don't necessarily have to speak out on it. Certain things, lifestyle-wise, I'm not going to deal with certain things, no matter what. I don't have to campaign against it, but when it comes to like fashion and things like that, again, I don't deal with it, but, to each his own. And sometimes I think some of these people doing it for attention. I think they're doing it for attention. They want to stick out, and then every generation, when they look at the older generation, they want to be different. So, interesting choice, but you won't catch me with a purse.
So why are you here tonight? Are you interviewing anybody? Like, you're just here for the vibe? Like, what's going on tonight that DJ Akademiks is in the building?
I had to come here. Alkaline touches Barclays Center for the first time for a headliner show. He's the solo headliner. And let me tell you, I followed his career. He's one of the artists I really love. And, I'm always here to celebrate our music and our culture, like being on a bigger platform. To think about, there was a time, and by the way, I just seen earlier, the after party for this is going to be like at Missouri. And I was just like, there was a time where that was the flex. This Jamaican artist made it to New York, performed at Missouri.
That's the place you went.
Now, we get to see that dance hall. I was one of the people who were a big Burna Boy fan. But I remember even when I interviewed Vibes Cartel when he just came out, I said, why is Afrobeat so prolific worldwide? And I see it selling out arenas.
Right.
And when we're thinking about dancehall, it's just not that. And I don't know what's changed, but I think it's also the culture. People have really realized that, hey, listen, no, we love this stuff. I'm seeing, watching Bounty here, all the Reggae Fest, watching Cartel, and now I'm going to watch Alkaline. I'm here to give that man his flowers and celebrate our culture. I want to be in there right before he touches stage, when I could look around and I could say, from that small rock, in that Caribbean Ocean, Caribbean Sea actually, we did this shit. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't from where I came from. He wouldn't be here. That's what it is.
Huh? All right. So DJ Akademiks, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to meet with you. So we're looking forward to the Buju interview, Movado interview, and everybody else that you got coming up. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and again, I hope everybody who's if you're from Caribbean descent, just know that my platform that I've gotten, I've never forgotten where I'm from.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to use every resource possible to help put the people in what's influenced me to help people like them and put them even on a higher stature. So I'm here supporting, and I'm here to be with my people.
All right. So can you give me a quick drop?
Of course.
Get with the fix, Michelle G. So do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay, what is it?
Get with the fix, Michelle G.
Yo, it's DJ Akademiks, man. Yo, check out Get With The Fix, Michelle G. Yo, we in the building, Alkaline, Barclays. It's gonna be a hell of a night, man. Make sure you guys tap in.
Thank you. All right. Have a good night.